Who are the veteran leaders you think early in your career with the Bulls that really inspired you, or really showed you the template to how to be this type of leader now?
I will say every OG that I played for, because I can't handpick. Like, I played on a lot of good teams, I would say, or I played with a lot of great teammates. And I feel like I took a little bit from everybody. You had like Kurt Thomas. I mean, guys that these kids not gonna know like that. A lot of OGs that really took care of their bodies and played for 17 to 18 years, like a Nazi Muhammad, and just being a professional and coming in and doing his routine, doing his job, having a routine. And, kids these days, I feel like they need that, you need that example of someone coming in and just being a professional.
There's a lot of history, of course, with these Knicks. Rick Brunson was your assistant coach with the Bulls at one point, and you had a young Jalen Brunson running around in the locker room, I'm sure, and at different points. And now you're playing with him. What do you remember about a young Jalen Brunson running around in that Bulls locker room?
I just remember, I ain't worked out with Jalen like that when I was younger. He used to be in the gym, but I had tunnel vision, so I feel like I wasn't working out with really any kids at that time. I used to always see him, and then I was always like cool with Rick, but he was always in the gym, bro. Our relationship grew ever since he been here. Like when he first here, I looked at him as like, like a kid, like playing against him. Like, bro, I saw you when you was like a little boy, but now being teammates with him, it's a fun position to be in, because this whole time, like being in my spot, you want to be playing behind somebody that's a dog. And I feel like JB is a dog, like the way that he played, it's kind of, it's like a Chicago way of playing. Grittiness, the way that he manipulates the game. Like, I'm in awe almost every night that he plays. Even the games that he feel like he didn't play very, I still love the way he plays.
In this series, there's a lot of relationships, even with Tibbs and Jimmy. You and Jimmy as well. You guys play with each other. You saw him kind of start to emerge as a guy that could be a potential star in the league. But now when you see him, what do you see out of the guy that you started out with?
I feel like I knew that he was going to be all right, but I feel like every player or every person, like nobody really don't know your journey or how you feel about yourself but you. Like even with me saying that I was gonna win MVP, nobody didn't believe. My mom probably didn't even believe it, but I believe it. You know what I mean? And I feel like that belief, like you are the only one that can like know, not believe, but you know what you have inside you. And I feel like Jimmy always knew that he was going to be someone.
Isaiah Thomas recently came out, and he feels like you're the guy from Chicago. When you talk about best players from the city, he mentioned you. How do you feel about that? And second of all, if I put that back on you, who would you say is the best player from Chicago?
I mean, it's dope that he said that, but it feels kind of weird when people say that I'm number one, because we're all in that melting pot together, and that's what the kids see. Like they could see somebody, that's offensively minded and see somebody that's defensively minded from Chicago. In most places, you don't see that. Like LA, about shooting. Certain places, you only think about certain aspects of the game, but Chicago is one of the rare places where you have to think about. You got both sides of the ball. You got offense with D-Wade, me, etc. Then you got defense with TA, Pat, and it goes down the list.
I was with Joakim last week. He mentioned he feels like your jersey 100% is going to be retired. Do you think about that often? Do you feel like it should be?
I haven't really thought about it, but the idea would be cool. My son's grandfather was telling me, like, man, it's really not about you at that time. It's about, like, your family. It's about PJ, your mom, kids. I don't think about like the jersey ceremony. I think about like what I'm gonna say, because it's like, man, I gotta go out there in front of the court, in front of the fans, center court.
So Derrick, you've got a chess tournament coming up in July. What led you to really taking it seriously early in the NBA?
I was interested in the game when I was probably in like 7th grade, and I really took it serious around like 22. When I hear people explain or talk about golf, how addicting it is, it's the same feeling where whenever I play chess, I started to like have dreams. I started to um, really try to like take it serious and try to get better. And it's a game that you can't perfect. So you talk uh, critically thinking, you talking about problem solving, you talking about preventing dementia. My biggest thing was bringing the exposure to the game. 800 million people play. I had to do my due diligence first, but you hear all these stories about how kids, they have to travel to nationals, play the game. You spend a lot of money just to travel for the tickets. Your parents getting the tickets. You fly there, you get the hotel room. You play in the tournament, and at the end of the tournament, you get a trophy or $100. Like, that didn't make any sense to me for the nationals. I feel like you should be rewarded more, especially if you're putting in all that time. Right now, we're partnering with St. Louis Chess Club. We're partnering with Marshall Chess Club to not only go into schools, but go into penitentiaries and just trying to put up programs so that, like I said, trying to get kids to critically think instead of most of the time in the areas that I grew up in, most of the times when kids are critically thinking is to cause harm on someone.